Former USA player, now working for Fox Sports as their soccer analyst, Eric Wynalda. How do you feel today?
Well, you get right to it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is going to be a hangover that lasts 4 years. So, yeah, this isn't fun. This isn't. Look, we were on the line the other day, and I was kind of adamant about it, and I started thinking about it. If it's okay, I'm going to tell you a little story because this is kind of makes sense.
Okay.
In 1994, okay, we played in a World Cup, and we got same deal. We won one, we tied one, we lost one, and we got to the second round, and we got Brazil, and everybody said, "Wow, what an opportunity!" July 4th, the chapter actually fell on a Monday, and my coach came into the game in my hotel room, and he said, "You're not going to play," and I said, "Okay, why not?" And he said, "Well, you're just too offensive minded, and we need to play a little bit more defense in this game, so you're going to sit this one out." So I accepted that. I said, "All right, that's the coach's decision. I can deal with that." And then about 35 minutes into the game, Tab Ramos, who probably was one of our more talented guys we've ever had, beats the guy, gives it to Tom Dooley, and he crosses the ball, goes right through the box, and there's nobody there. Nobody there. And my coach turned around in the middle of the game, looked at me, looked right at me. I'm sitting on the bench as if to say, "You know what, you would have been there if I would have had the balls to put you out there." And here we are now, 20 years removed from that, and it's the same damn story. This is a boxing match that it was 15 rounds, and we went the first 10 rounds with one arm tied behind our back. And everybody said it was great. The last 15 minutes was great, but it was just too little, too late.
Okay, what did Klinsmann?
It's really hard.
What did he do wrong?
Well, he did the same thing that Bora Milutinovic did 20 years ago. We did not. Look, players in a game like this just want to play. They want to feel like they got the opportunity to win. And we went out again, looking like we were going to let them play. I mean, look, if that guy Vincent Kompany who's sending out tweets and saying all these nice things about Tim Howard. Look, if you're a defender and you go the first 80 minutes and the Americans are only put one guy up there, at some point you say, "Well, shit, I'm going to go for it. I'll go. I'm going to go up there and try and score a goal myself." And that's ended up what happened. That we gave them so much confidence.
I know you're fired up. Just be watchful of the language there. Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Okay. Be specific here. Donovan being left off, Beckerman not playing. Like, be specific on what did the U.S. do wrong yesterday?
All right, so Matt, as an analyst, okay, you look at their team on paper, and you get a little bit wary of that. You try to put the best team you can put out there. You made some changes. You put Cameron in the midfield, which is actually a good move. It was a good move. The number one problem we had in this World Cup was Michael Bradley playing out of position. The goal that we scored, for example, was a great pass from Michael, right? But that was, I would argue, the point. That's the first time that he was allowed to play his natural position, where he can sit back in a pocket, so to speak, as a quarterback, and just kind of pick out those passes. That's what he's good at. But since you're a basketball guy, it'd be like asking a 6'6" guy to be expected to drive the lane and make some last-second Jason Kidd, Steve Nash decision. Doesn't happen. He can't do it. And that he asked a guy to do something he couldn't do. And Landon Donovan, whether you like him, hate him, I know Paulie's probably upset about it, but he would have been a great option. What we did is we played with three defensive midfielded-minded players in a game where the whole world was kind of watching to see if the Americans were going to come out and actually play. And my thing now is, look, and I am fired up, and I'm not going to apologize for it, but think about this. If we would have won, which we had every opportunity to do that if we would have got our act together sooner, we'd be playing on Saturday, not Monday, Saturday, July 5th, the day after July 4th, against Argentina. Nobody's working. Nobody's working it. We're all watching this one against Lionel Messi and possibly the best player on the planet you've seen in every single commercial if you're watching this World Cup, and it's going to be Belgium, not us. And as a guy who's emotionally invested into this sport, it's a real tough thing to swallow that we did the same thing that we did 20 years ago. And that every time we go into these World Cups, the big question on MLSsoccer.com is, are we better off than 4 years ago? We're not better off than we were 20 years ago. And until we just decide to go out there and actually play in a World Cup and enjoy a World Cup, we're going to continue to kick ourselves in the face and foot.
He's Eric Wynalda, Fox Sports, former USA player, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. But I got the feeling against Germany, got the feeling yesterday that we were playing as conservatives as possible. I don't know if we had the skill to match these teams offensively, but defensively it seemed like that was our mindset. And then all of a sudden you had to score a goal, and then you were saying to guys, now you got to turn it on and try to be offensive. And imagine this, though, Eric. Imagine if we weren't defensive-minded yesterday, how many shots Tim Howard would have faced. He faced enough. And it seems like they were ultra-conservative in our game plan there, and Howard came away like people are going to credit him. I'm blaming the U.S. team. I mean, to me, it was embarrassing that he faced that many shots.
That's exactly the point, though. You see, they don't send those kind of numbers forward if every time those defenders are looking around and the midfielders are looking around and they're like, well, they're already back in a defensive shell, so I can venture out of my position. I can actually go for it a little bit. And the reason why Tim Howard was so busy yesterday is because we were so content to get numbers behind the ball. That doesn't mean you're playing defense. The teams that have had, and here's another little funny thing for you, the coaches who are considered the tactical geniuses, and I hate it when this starts, like the Capellos of the world for Russia, out of the competition. Prandelli, Italy, out of the competition completely. Roy Hodgson, England, out of the competition. Dabowski, Spain, out because they decided that they were going to be a little bit more conservative.
Okay,
now,
how do you
Howard,
feel? How do you feel about Jurgen Klinsmann coaching this team as we move forward? The next 4 years as we get ready for Russia. How confident are you the U.S. maybe makes a quantum leap here?
Well, it's not even it really becomes a situation where in the moments that matter, and, we always talk about keeping your composure, not losing it. Look, as a manager of a team in a situation where the opportunity is there to take it and you don't, that's second guessing because you drew up a plan and you're pretty good at motivating guys, and you think that's going to be the difference. The worst feeling in the world as a player is when that coach pulls up that sheet and says, all right, here's the starting lineup. And the whole team kind of goes, well, I guess we're just content to just play, but we're going to play defense. And then you have no belief. This whole country is singing this song, I Believe. The only guy that didn't believe was Jurgen. And that's hard. That's hard on the players. That's hard on all the people in this country who are really ready to get behind the sport, who are congregating in places like Soldier Field. You saw all those images. It was great. It was fantastic to see that many people, but getting involved. But man, that's just almost un-American for us to just go out there and strap one arm behind our back and take 1,000 punches. I'm with you. I feel bad for Tim Howard. He should have never been put in that spot.
All right. Well, take a deep breath. All right.
I'm sorry about the S word. It is early.
I know. I know you were fired up. I appreciate the honesty, but I'll talk to you in 4 years. All right.
That's probably you're not kidding. That's probably true. That's a sad
all right.
thing
Okay, Eric. 3 years and 11 months. How's that?
Okay, that sounds better. I'll miss you every day.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Eric Wynalda, Fox Sports, former USA player.